In this video, I'd like to cover how we have the ability to organize our sources according to the way we want to. I like to use a timeline. And then we can also edit the source titles so it makes more sense to us, and I'll explain that in just a minute. So I'm going to jump down to Charles Franklin Corliss's sources, and I have the ability to either click on sources here, or I can actually go down to the scroll bar. I can scroll down, but I want to show you how if I click on sources, it will take it down to the correct area for me. When I look at this area, we have 7 sources, and for me, I like to put the earliest source at the top and go down to the latest source. Some people like it the opposite, but I'm going to show you the way I like to do it. So, in order to move a source, if you left click and don't let go of that left click and drag wherever you think it belongs, and you'll see that long gray bar, then you let it go and it moves it. You do have the ability to move sources with these little arrows, but they're really, to me, it's kind of cumbersome because you have to keep going down the line and clicking on those little arrows. Whereas here, you just left click, drag, let go of that left click and drop it. That to me is a lot easier. So on these sources for the census records, these are pretty easy to put in because they always put the census year at the very end of the title. So these were pretty easy. These other ones, we call them collections, and they cover quite a few years sometimes. Here we have a death certificate for the daughter of Charles. Her name's Ada. And when I go in here, I can see that she actually shows on this document that she passed away in 1961, and yet this collection goes from 1904 to 1964. So I want to put in there the year that the document actually states that she passed away. So in parentheses, I'm going to put in here 1961, and then I'll click on Save. That's the only thing I'm changing. And when I close it, you can see that at the very end. So now I have the ability to once again left click. Oh, whoops, I'm going to take this down this time and drop it. We'll do the same thing for the marriages. We'll click on that collection. You can see they got married in 1882. So I'm going to go up to the word edit and click on it. And you can see I'm in the source title right here. Right at the end of that source title, I'm going to type in, I think it said 1882. And let me show you why I couldn't remember, but if you look right down in here in your notes, it actually says 1882 also. So if you forget, it gives you a second chance there. So click on Save, go ahead and close it, and it looks like it's actually in place for me. So now we'll go to these main vital records. Here we have a death record on Charles. It shows that he passed away in 1920. So I will go up to Edit. Behind that source title collection name, I'm going to put 1920 in parentheses, go down to Save, and close it. And then it actually looks like it's in place too. So we have all the censuses in order, and then those collections fall into place also. So for me, it just is a much cleaner look, easier to look at those sources in an organized manner.